Hi guys, I'm John Bro, and I cordially invite you to Let's Play, Let's play V. No. I think most people just call this game V, which is kind of interesting because you leave out 5 letters in the title by saying just V, but I mean, I can see that. I mean, it takes longer to say VVVVVV, and that just kind of sounds like an odd title. The website's actually called the letter V 6 times, but anyways, this is an indie game by Terry Kavanagh, who's known for making various different Flash browser games. And this is his first Flash game that isn't the browser game, I guess because it became so big that he decided it should be a commercial game instead. At least that's what I read in an interview somewhere. And this is a very charming, challenging, awesome game. Definitely a long game by Flash game standards, but it's not like a really long game, so it took me maybe 4 hours to beat the first time I played through it, and then 2 hours the next time, 1 hour the next, and I've beaten it in about 40 minutes to an hour in the last, like, 10 times that I've played it through all the way, which has been in the last 3 days, because I've been trying to record this LP so many times. But I'll just explain more about the game on the way through, so let's just begin! Let's just begin! This is our ship. It's a very hot pink ship, so hot. It looks like it just got hotter. Uh-oh! Is everything okay? No, obviously not. He said uh-oh. Logic would denote that if someone says uh-oh, something bad is happening. Everyone's flashing colors. I think we just hit a rainbow asteroid, or maybe a unicorn in space. Huh? Guys? Aw, we tried to warp away, but everyone else warped in entirely different places. But we can... Yeah, Captain Viridian's sad, but we can turn his frown upside down, as you can see here. I bet everyone who's made this LP has made that joke. But yes, this is the entire gimmick or mechanic of the game, whatever you want to call it. People say gimmick is like a negative term. I don't really see that. I don't know why that's considered a negative term in games, but, you know, it's... Yeah, I like it. This is like the entirety of the game, and yet it's deceptively simple. It feels like much more of a game than that, because it's so cleverly designed. That was a trinket. Basically what the trinkets are is if you collect all 20 of them, because there are 20 of them in the game, then you get this extra room at the end of the game, or an extra area at the end of the game, and that's about it. Yeah, there are also other uses for those too. They're just kind of there to make the game more challenging. Violet is the only one who's still on our ship. Everyone kind of left the ship in different places, so we have to go rescue everyone, basically. We warped to this random space station. Yeah, this is a space station, if you don't know. This yellow area on the map is a space station. Violet is on the ship, and everyone else is in completely random locations, and we have to find them. So that's kind of inconvenient, but it's cool. It makes for some exploration. These are the yes men. I mean, like... This is just one screen of the game, but I don't know why I'm really stopping to talk about this, but all the enemies in this game are really odd. Like, they're really odd. I don't know what to say about most of them. Like, I don't even know if these don't look like yes men. These look more like yes mice. They kind of look like mice to me. I have weird interpretations of what a lot of things in this game look like. Like, on this screen, these things look like frogs in my head. They look like silhouettes of frogs with spears. Don't ask me why. It's like they're facing upwards, and maybe it's the hopping motion that makes me think that, but I don't know. But yeah. Here's another trinket. These things look like... The trinkets look like jelly donuts to me, just like flashing jelly donuts. People might say they look more like CDs. I think they look like jelly donuts. Thankfully, after you kill yourself, if you do it on accident or on purpose, it doesn't really matter, because you still keep the trinkets that you get, so... That's good news. Good news. It's this is a very leniently designed game, and that's one thing I like about it. It's not really designed to be frustrating. This thing looks like a cat to me. You can see that, right? The legs on the top kind of look like ears. But every time I see this, it makes me think of an elephant. I really have no idea why this looks like an elephant in my head. It looks more like a tombstone or a cat, but... a tombstone or a cat, because so many things can be said to be either tombstones or cats. What? It looks nothing like an elephant, though. I don't know why I think that. Quicksand! This thing looks like a ghost. These things look like... robot monkeys? No. Actually, they look more like spinning tops on stools that are doing the Charlie Brown. I don't understand. But here's our teleporter, and we go back to the ship with the teleporters that we find throughout the game. And it's also kind of interesting because all other I cannot speak. But we're about to see where all our other crew members are in this little bit of dialogue here. They're all in different dimensions, or parts of the same dimension, but this is actually called Dimension V, or actually Dimension VVVVV, but I decided to not say all the V's. Yeah, to find them, look anywhere that you haven't looked. That's specific. Thanks, Violet. Thanks a lot for your help. But I was gonna say, like, all the characters in the game, they actually get warped next to teleporters, and yet they don't activate them and go back to the ship. So we have to rescue them, I guess, by going after them and activating the teleporters for them, which really doesn't make sense, but whatever, it's a video game. These are the trinkets we've already gotten. We've gotten these 2 trinkets, so that's good news for us. I could also explain, like, this game is available on, I think, Steam and on the 3DS. I'm not sure where else. On the 3DS, though, it's actually version 2.0 in the game, so there are 2 extra songs in the soundtrack, and that's relevant because this screen actually is the jukebox. And the more trinkets you collect, the more songs that you will find on the screen, the more terminals you will see that you can play songs on. So this one says Passion for Exploring. This one we can't do anything with because the song that we're currently listening to is Passion for Exploring. And it's actually one of my favorite songs in the game anyway, so I'm probably not going to listen to any of the other ones right there on the ship. And another difference, obviously, between this and the 3DS version of the game is that the 3DS version of the game is in 3D. I'm recording this on my PC, because that's the only way I can record in high quality. I think that's it. Oh yeah, and the 3DS version also has lots of players levels. Like, there are players levels that you can download online if you have V on your PC, but V on your PC. Don't pee on your PC, though. What? And, yeah, it's just that some of the more specific ones, like some of the more, I guess the featured levels that Terry Kavanagh really liked were the ones that went into the 2.0 version of the game. This is the second level of the game, which is called the Laboratory. I mean, it's considered the second level. It's just because this is most likely the one that you're going to come across second in the game. And it's also the second one that you can find if you're playing this on, I mean, there is a Flash browser version of this game in that there's a demo version of it, if that counts. And the second level that's in that 2-level demo is this one. So, yeah, it's the closest one to the ship. That's why you're expected to get it second. But it's another cool place. Usually you can't flip in the middle of your jump, or in the middle of your flip. You can't really jump in this game. Viridian, stop killing yourself. That is a very bad idea. And with these lines that are everywhere, you can flip in the middle of your jump, so that's kind of cool. Syntax error, with a question mark before the syntax. You know, context sensitive. I don't know, that's, you know, that's one of those things that probably is weird to just about everyone who only speaks English, but, you know, in Spanish, there are the question marks at the beginning of questions that are upside down. What's the point of having a question mark at the beginning of a sentence if it's a question? Like, that's something that I want to question, you know? If you only need one question mark, why bother having a second one? And for that same reason, you know, like, V is a really underrated letter. V, you know? I'm just thinking that partly because this game is all about the letter V, but also partly because, like, I just think Q is just, or Q and X are kind of overrated letters, in that everyone knows that they're the least used letters in the alphabet, so everyone talks about that. But then V is, like, the one that nobody talks about, and that's, like, the cool letter. That and Q and X, there's a reason that they're the least used letters in the alphabet. Like, they're pointless letters. Q, you can just make that sound with a K and a W, you know? A K and a W, that just makes a, like, it's Kwanzaa. Like, Kwanzaa could have a Q in it, but it doesn't. Like, why bother having the Q? You can easily replace just about any, like, and in addition to that, Q always, or almost always, needs a U with it, so you need to use 2 letters together when using the letter Q to even make it work, so there's just no point in it existing. Also the letter X, because X can just be a KS sound. The letter C is pretty pointless too, because anytime you ever use the letter C, it's either an S or a K sound. So that's another pointless letter. I kind of like the idea that, like, Chinese symbols and things have, where every character represents a different vowel or consonant sound. That just seems like it would be a better alphabet setup. Because then you can just write down things as they sound. Everything in the language is phonetic. That just makes sense to me. Also, anytime that you see parallel lines in this game, well, I mean, anytime I see parallel lines in this game, I think, oh, this is gonna suck, because I'm terrible at the parts with parallel lines. Like this. This is not... Well, that turned out surprisingly well, but even still, I usually mess up on those parts. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. You should not feel sorry for making this game, Terry Kavanagh. This is a great game, and I'm probably... Is it weird that I'm saying his full name over and over again? I'm sorry, I'm probably doing that because I've been playing a lot of Phoenix Wright lately. I know maybe that it's weird to say that I've been playing Phoenix Wright lately because it's really not a very... It's not a game with a whole lot of replay value, I guess, for a lot of people, but I just love how well written they are. They're just so well written. And, you know, Franziska von Karma always refers to people by their full names, so maybe that's what I'm thinking. But another reason that I'm saying his full name is that's just a cool name. I don't know. I'm following him on Twitter. Terry Kavanagh does have a Twitter. Oh no, Captain, are you stuck in here too? It's okay, I'm here to rescue you. Cliché line. Let me explain everything. That explains that. What? I didn't understand any of that. Oh, Victoria. This is the name of the blue character. Victoria. And that's just really funny to me. Like, we're flying around on the ship in the beginning of the game, so you would suspect that we're pretty much rocket scientists, and yet we don't have common sense. Like, we just explained to Victoria, this is a really simple concept. We hit an interference in the universe, everyone warped to different places, I'm here to rescue them all. That doesn't take very long to explain, that's very simple, yeah, that's a very easy concept, and she's just like, what? I didn't get any of that. Yeah, I don't, yeah. Whatever. But yeah, I've run out of things to say already. I guess while I'm out of things to say, I could talk about E3. I know that's kind of old news by now, but it's still a sort of current event. E3. So what did everyone think of E3? I personally thought that, wait, what's up here? Oh no, this is that. Oh, no, I don't want to be up here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. There we go. But I personally thought that E3... I only ever watch, like, the Nintendo conference usually, but I watch part of the Ubisoft conference too, because Nintendo and Ubisoft are the ones I'm most interested in. And, from what I heard, Ubisoft and Nintendo pretty much stomped everyone else. By the way, this is another awesome level. This is our third level that we're entering. The Tower. This is just one big scrolling level. Ah, love it. But anyways... I feel like Ubisoft is really like the main contributor to what's going to be really great on the Wii U. So it's almost like, why even bother calling it the Wii U? Maybe the Wii U... Maybe the U stands for Ubisoft, just because they're making all the good games on the system. Like Rayman Legends. Oh, that's going to be so good. Oh, I love it so much. Because I've been playing so much Rayman Origins. That's... I know I keep changing what my favorite games of all time are, but that's my second favorite game, probably. Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door is still the first. And then Skyward Sword, I said, it's probably... I consider it maybe my third favorite game of all time, but I might change that, because that's the most likely one to change. Because it's a good game, and it might be my favorite Zelda game, but at the same time, it's kinda... Well... I don't know, it does have things that other Zelda games... Or it does have... The things about it that aren't as good as other Zelda games, that's the simple thing that I was trying to say there. Twilight Princess actually might be my favorite. And I know a lot of people say that Twilight Princess is not the best Zelda game, and it's not even a good one, but I disagree. I really like its atmosphere. The atmosphere is what makes the game for me. Another thing that I kind of want to talk about, or touch upon, is that Rayman Origins is also one of my favorite games of all time now, because it has this certain flair that a lot of mainstream games don't have. And that might be because it was made by a fairly small group of people in the process of like 2 years. And so it was very carefully designed in that everything in the game was kinda according to one person, like Mitchell Ansel, that's his name, sorry. If that's how it's pronounced, he's French. I guess everything in the game was probably centered around his idea of what made a great game, as opposed to everyone else just like having their own ideas of what made a great game. Because that's kind of the problem with a lot of mainstream games, is that people don't really know... Like, people's ideas of game design don't really mesh together as well as they should. And some people might just be making the game for money instead of for making it good.